maybe the one big challenge we have in learning development is that this is what the CEO or the leaders or the management team or whoever is our stakeholders, what they expect. More business impact, but on less time with fewer resources. Fun, yes. But I actually think we should take this challenge and instead think of it as a challenge. Explore it. If we have 2 hours with people, how can we make sure that those 2 hours are so good that the content is not only like there, it's also, it sticks. So people actually remember and people can use what they learned 1 week after, 4 weeks after, 8 weeks, even 6 months, 1 year. So very high knowledge retention. Because without that, we can't go to Bella's next step, which is the behaviors. We need also to start to actually understand and remember the content. So what we need to do is to take in everything we know nowadays about our brain and basically design for the brain and not design based on how we have designed education. And here's the problem. All of us in this room, we are, or not all of us, some of us has been at universities. We have been sitting in this kind of hall for 5 hours, listening to one professor, that's the expert, and he usually have talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and we have been writing and writing and writing and writing, and then 6 months after we get the exam, and then we either like pass or fail, and that's like the judgment on us, and that will like determine our future. So this is how learning has been, and that's what we have been brought up with. And who taught that professor? Well, it was at the time where shame and punishment was part of learning, where you actually put kids in a corner if they did wrong, or hit them until the law said 1967 that we couldn't hit children in schools. And we were the second country in the world punishing that. Norway was the first. So we have some work to do. And I stumbled upon this model from the Neuro Leadership Institute in 2018. I've used it since. It's very easy to remember. Ages, attention, generation, emotions, spacing. This is what the brain needs to be able to learn and retain knowledge. So let's go through it. Attention is about that we need to be focused, present, attentive. Otherwise, hippocampus will not activate and we will not learn anything. So what's happening now is what we need to create. And we're doing it with surprises. Different speakers speaking today. We do it with, no, we're not doing it with interaction. Maybe next time. We're doing with novelty today as well. So we're adding every fifth minute something new. And the brain research shows that 20 minutes is more or less how much we can hold attention. Then we have generation, the G. So learning sticks when you make meaning out of it, unique meaning. You need to take your time to connect with the content yourself, to reflect, maybe to teach others, to talk, because otherwise it will not stick. It will not go into your experience or previous knowledge and connect with what you already know. So that's a very important step. Then we have emotions. Emotions boost memory. In the brain, the emotion center and the memory centers are tightly connected. So we need to create a sufficient arousal of emotions in our training sessions. It can be positive emotions or negative emotions. Doesn't really matter actually, as long as you feel something. That was why we talked about storytelling earlier. We need to make learners feel, and that's when they will remember. So use stories, use feelings, make people reflect about the situation, a memory, or something that happened, so they connect and bring emotions. Also, social learning is why social learning works, because we get emotional, we have more emotions when we speak with other people. And then the last one, the S for spacing. The brain hates cramming. There's so much research that full day sessions does not work. 2-day sessions does not work. We actually need to space it out. And we feel it works, because when we have this, master training, get to know everything about AI in 8 hours, we're like, I got to know so much, all the information I got this day, like 5 in the satisfaction survey. But if you look at the knowledge retention and the memory, not that much. We need to space it out. Research shows that we actually learn when we sleep. Going to night school, it works. So space things out. But also within a session, split it up. I usually try to have 30% content in a session, and the rest is reflection, self-assessment, peer-to-peer, active listening, group discussions, because that's when we actually get the content in and also make it memorable. So why is this hard? Because this is how we were brought up. We need to unlearn everything almost that we learned about learning. And also learning is different in a business context if you compare it to an educational context. And we need to do this by make it brain friendly. Read up on the brain, read up on neuroscience, and apply what you have learned there in your learning sessions. What I want you to remember: grab attention, make sure that learners generate their own thoughts through reflection, conversations, and so on. Move people emotionally, and also give their brains time and space to reflect and really build on the knowledge and make it connect with their previous experiences. And because of this session is lacking the G, I'm not going to take any questions. I'm going to let you talk about this one in pairs. Do it now. Thank you.